Hello, this is Organized Preparedness coming at you with a video of what I call my wilderness first aid kit. It's small, lightweight, and it's modeled after the wilderness and remote first aid kit that is proposed by none other than the American Red Cross. You can find this document and a lot more pages at this right here, Wilderness and Remote First Aid Emergency Reference Guide. This is page 12, and right here is the things they recommend for personal first aid kit. This is more or less what I modeled my kit out of, so let's get started. I'll run down the list according to what equivalent I have, but first I'll get into the weight of this. The weight, so I hope you can see here, yep, is 9.7 ounces, and it includes a Leatherman Micra, which is the heaviest item in here. The Leatherman Micra alone, if you were to take it out, would reduce the weight down to 8.1 or so ounces. Let's zero this out again. 8.1. I thought it was like 7.4 or something like that. 7.9. That, yeah, 7.9 ounces. I've weighed it several times. That's what I got previously. So 7.9 ounces without the Leatherman Micra. I suggest without it because, if you everyday carry like myself, you most likely already have a multi-tool. I always run a Leatherman Wave. That's of course up to anybody's preference, but Leatherman Wave has a scissors, which is what this is primarily for. So this is the scissors and tweezers. I guess I'll get into that later. But first, let's go with this right here. This is about 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches, or there about 6.5 inches by 6. It's a Loctite, or no, sorry, not Loctite, lock sack bag. It's pretty durable. I saw Nothing Fancy use a few on his kits, so I purchased one of these and I stuffed it full full of odds and ends. So let me bear with me here as I dismantle it with one hand. Got a bunch of stuff in here, but as I said earlier, I'm going to go through it chronologically according to the guide given by the American Red Cross. And I added some extra things as well, and I had a few less things. So first things first is adhesive bandages. They suggest 6. I do not have that many. As you see here, I have a Shemagh that's usually in my bug out bag. I have generally, I always run a bandage, I mean not a bandage, but a bandana in my EDC, and generally have 2, or at least 1 extra bandanas in my bug out bag or my bag, whatever I happen to be carrying. So that I sort of would substitute as a bandage, but I do have maybe 2 feet of this self-adhesive bandage, so that knocks out that. I just wrapped it on itself. There's nothing more than just this wrapped on itself. About 2 feet of it, I think. So that's what I have in terms of bandages. Um, yeah, sterile gauze pads. They suggest 2 3x3s. I went a little bit heavy on the gauze pads. I went with 2 3x3s, as well as 1 4x4, and so that's what I've got in terms of gauze pads. Adhesive tape. I have 1 small roll of that. I squeezed it down, put a Ranger band around it, which a Ranger band is just part of bike inner tube that's cut, just a slice of it. Just put it around that. Now this Ranger band could be useful for other things. I probably don't even need it. If I wanted to lighten my weight a little bit, I probably could because it's squeezed. But this is just, I forget what it is. 3M transport tape, I think. Yeah. Sorry you can't see it very well, but that's what it is. Transport tape. Breathable. I don't know how many feet or yards of this there is, but it's quite sufficient. That's probably what it's referring to right there. So moleskin, a 3x6. So this is what I've got. It's a 4x6, so 4 inches by 6 inches. So that's plenty enough. So I got moleskin. I got soap. Just a small equivalent quasi soap. I got 2 Neosporin pads. It's probably not enough, honestly, but I'm trying to lighten the load. It's just a personal first aid kit, so that's what I've got. 2 Neosporin. I got these in a first aid kit that Walmart was providing, El Cheapo, and so I ended up with those, and I incorporated it into this. So kind of probably lacking there, but for me, my purposes, that's enough. Wound gel. I have some of this stuff. It's Honey Med, and it's in the smallest thing I could find. It was half a fluid ounce, as you see there. So that's pretty much the smallest thing I could find. So I decided to get that because in order to fit it in this about 5.5 by 6 or so, yeah, that's the one thing that fit. So got wound gel, scissors. Now, as I previously went over, that's why I've actually got the micro in there. It's got a scissors, very nice, very nice. I've been impressed with it. It cuts very well. And then we can skip down from scissors to tweezers. It's also got some good tweezers right here, tweezers, and it's got some nice other tools to boot. It's got it's a small flathead, and let's see, it's got a good knife as well. That's not the knife, but knife's on the other side. Yeah, good knife. It's very sharp. You can cut yourself. Leatherman makes very quality tools. This run you about $20. I think I bought mine used but in good condition for about, I don't know, 17, 15, around there. So got that. So that's my scissors and my tweezers. We can go to latex-free medical exam gloves. I've got a pair of those in a bag. So that'll be that. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation breathing barrier, CPR breathing barrier. I got one of those. I got a bunch of, like a pack of 6 of them for $12 or so off eBay. They're the real cheap ones, but they're small, compact. It's about the size of a quarter. About, I don't know, it's maybe a centimeter thick, but it's very lightweight. It's pretty much nothing. So I put that in there. And then I've got tweezers, as I already mentioned, a wilderness remote first aid report form, and I'll add that into my description below, but you can find that on the internet. Just Google it. I printed out one in a simple 8.5 by 11 sheet and folded it down. But it's useful if you come across someone who's been injured. This is what the emergency responders would like to know. If you get a hold of them on their phone, like you call 911, get them on the phone. If you've asked all these questions already, great. You could hand it to an emergency or first aid responder if you come across them, or you can. It's just basically all they need to know, and so it's a great thing to have along. It's recommended by the Red Cross, so I put that in there, and a pencil. So I just got a simple mini golf pencil, and I put a protector on it, a Save-A-Point. Got Save-A-Point, a bunch of plastic protectors off Amazon. Save-A-Point, and it came with like a dozen protectors, and so I just put one on there, protects it. It's not going to puncture through here anymore, and so I got my pencil. So that covers, I think, everything in the personal first aid kit that the Red Cross recommends. As I already previously stated, I'm lacking in the adhesive bandages as well as the soap, sort of, kind of. So that's what I've got so far. Now let's get into the rest of the stuff that isn't covered, but I felt like I wanted in my first aid kit. So first, combat gauze. It's second, well, this is probably the most expensive purchase of the entire kit. Combat gauze works pretty great. You can consult Skinny Medic's videos on how he demonstrates them. They're great, but what they do is they stop severe bleeding, and I wanted my kit to at least encompass that. So it's very small, compact. This is probably not even a centimeter thick. It's very lightweight, and I just slip it in with the rest. So combat gauze cost me about $20 on eBay. Probably expires in like 2019 or so, or maybe 2021. Yeah. I also got a survival rescue blanket. Very small compared to my hand right there. About centimeter thickness. Again, I'm not sure the diameter of that. Not diameter, but okay. Yeah, 84 inches length and 52 in width. So it's fairly big for being in such a small package. So got that. Got some, I forget what they call these things, but they're basically for they're band-aids for knuckles or your hands, fingers. They're great. So I got two of those. They're slightly different, but same concept. So yeah, got those. Got 4 regular size or medium size band-aids. I've got 2 smaller band-aids around here somewhere. Sorry, I got a bunch of junk. Thought I had 2 small. I'm pretty sure I do. This is one of them. Okay. Oops, I guess I should have rolled these in as an alternative to soap, but these are 4 double packs of sterile, alcohol swabs. So they'd be equivalent for soap. So I guess I misspoke earlier. So I got 4 of those, and I got some of these. So you get a big gash. Put these across them. So yeah, got, I don't know, 10 of those. This was recommended when I took my wilderness and remote first aid course and got certified. I was given this, and it's highly recommended for people you come across, or maybe if you yourself get dehydrated and start to get dizzy and stuff, you put this in your, say, water bottle and drink that. I've heard it tastes disgusting, but it gives you some of the nutrients you need to, I guess, get over your dehydration. So great option. This, I have a few drugs that I decided were essential. These are 4 right here, 4 different ones. Imodium, that is for anti-diarrheal purposes. I got a pack of those, 3 of them. So got that, and then I've got for allergies that you might develop or something. This is great. So Benadryl. If you don't have an EpiPen or can't afford an EpiPen, this is the next best thing, because at least you'll have something. If you're reacting bad, getting anaphylactic shock or something, this will help lessen the symptoms. And I've got ibuprofen. I think it's a pain reliever. I haven't really used these kind of things. Oh, this is aspirin. This is what you might want to give to someone if they're experiencing a heart attack, or it might be something a little bit simpler, but just generic aspirin. So got those 2 things. And one last thing right here is the Wilderness and Remote First Aid booklet that the Red Cross offers. I printed it out very small, and then I cut it up and taped it into a little booklet. Sadly, it's not double spaced, so if I could figure out how to double space it and print it, that'd probably take me a long time. I don't know. If anybody out there knows how to get one of these booklets, I couldn't find a place that would sell them as booklets, but I could only find places that offered them in PDF format where you'd print them out yourself. So yep, that's that. This is very useful if you really are caught in a bad spot and you're not an expert. You can consult this for some additional advice. So very thin, lightweight, fits right in here. All of it fits right in there. It's amazing. I love my little kit. It less than 10 ounces. What can I say? I really enjoy it. My philosophy of use on it is just as I said earlier, put in your backpack. Say you're hiking around. Obviously, it's not prepared for a group, but if you come across somebody who's injured, it covers the bases. I mean, I've burned myself several times. This stuff was great. If I cut myself really badly, I got something to staunch the very bad flow of water. Blood. Yeah, this to me is essential, because if I get in a bad spot, this is what I'm going to use. Say I'm using my axe, and I get myself real good in the leg, and need some help. I'd have to put this in, and this is basically gauze. It's just treated with something that coagulates the blood really fast. I've heard that it hurts a lot, and you don't want to put it back. You don't want to ever have to use it once once you've experienced it. But at least you'll live. So I guess that's it. I hope you enjoy the video. Sorry it took 20 minutes to complete, but I hope it's useful. Enjoy.